Hello friends, today we are going to talk about the basics of polynomials. So what are polynomials? As you know that you must be using the expressions like 2x plus 3. What is this? We call them as algebraic expressions because over here there are few constant terms like 2 and 3 are the constant terms and there are few variables. What are variables? Whose value will vary. So x is a variable over here and there are some mathematical operations also in between like plus is there, and this together must be giving something in your real life situation. This could be an equation for something in your real life situation. So these are known as, when we are not putting an equal to sign, these are known as algebraic expressions. Now these are algebraic expressions. Then what are polynomials? Polynomials, we represent a polynomial. The condition for an algebraic expression to be called as a polynomial is that x should have the power as a whole number. The power of x or the variable in this expression, if it is a whole number, it will be a polynomial. What do I mean by it? Right now the expression which I have taken is 2x plus 3. What's the power of x over here? For over here the power of x is 1. Nothing is written means x is taken one time. So the power of x is 1. So over here it will be called as a polynomial. Now what about this expression? 2x square plus 9x plus 4. Check the powers for x. The power of x is 2, which is a whole number. Here the power of x is 1, which is a whole number. Here there is no x term. But children, see here, I can still write it as x to the power 0. Why? Because anything to the power 0 is 1. Anything to the power 0 is 1. So over here the power of x in the third term is 0. You can see that all these are whole numbers. So this is a polynomial. But if I write it as 1 by x, is this a polynomial? Over here the power of x is x to the power minus 1. So this is not a polynomial. This is not a polynomial because minus 1 is not a whole number. So what are polynomials? Polynomials are algebraic expressions where the powers of the variables are in whole numbers. They will be called. Now let us take few more examples and understand. So first, taking this example. This expression, children, over here the power of y is 1. But what about this power? It is minus 1. So this polynomial, this expression can be written as y to the power 1 plus 2y to the power minus 1. And as you know that plus separates the two terms of a polynomial. This term is having y whose power is not a whole number. So this cannot be considered as a polynomial. This is not a polynomial. Coming to the second one. Over here, this expression is 3. T root means half power. Again, half is not a whole number. So this is okay. This is t to the power 1 and root 2, which is a separate constant term. So no problem. But this is a problem. Half is not a whole number. So this will not be considered as a polynomial. Coming to the third one. Over here, x has 2 power. Okay. Whole number. X has 1 power, which is whole number. Over here x has 0 power because as I told you, this is 4x2 plus 3x1 plus 7. Nothing is there means x to the power 0. Still it satisfies all the conditions of a polynomial. So yeah, this is a polynomial. What about this? This variable power is 2 and root 2. But root 2 is a constant term. So this will be a polynomial. Yes, this satisfies all the conditions for a polynomial. What about this? There are three variables. the variable x has power 10. Okay, whole number. Variable y has a power 3. Okay, whole number. Variable t has a power 30. Okay, whole number. This is a variable. But, so this is a polynomial. This is a polynomial with 3 variables. But this is a polynomial. Variables are 3, okay, no problem, but this is a polynomial. Whereas, if I consider the third one, that is 4x square plus 3x plus 7, this one is a polynomial with one variable. How many variables do you have? Doesn't matter. You can have a polynomial with one variable, you can have a polynomial with 3 variables, you can have a polynomial with 2 variables, you can have a polynomial with n variables also. But the power of the variable should be a whole number. Now let us go deeper into polynomial and understand them better. So as I said, plus sign separates the terms of the polynomial. So this given polynomial has two terms. One term is 4x, another term is 7. There are two terms in this polynomial. Okay. Now 4x is one term, 7 is another term. 7 is the constant term because there is no variable, so its value cannot vary. So it's a constant term. Whereas if I consider this polynomial and ask you what are the terms. First, how many terms are there? So there are 3 terms. It's visible. Now comes what are the terms? As I said, plus sign separates the terms of a polynomial. So this can be written as 2x square plus minus 9x. That means plus sign separates the two terms of a polynomial. That means this minus will be taken in the second term. Plus 7. So the terms are 2x square, minus 9x and 7. Okay, these are the 3 terms of a polynomial. Please understand, if there is a minus, that will be taken in counting when you are counting the term. Okay, because plus sign separates the terms of a polynomial. Now, next we will talk about coefficients. So, if I take this term 4x, what is the coefficient for x? It's 4. What is the coefficient of x? It's 4. In this term, what's the coefficient of x square? It's 2. What is the coefficient of minus 9x? It's minus 9. Okay. What is the coefficient of x raised to the power 0? It's 7. These are numerical coefficient. Suppose if I take 2 variable children, 2xy. Okay. Sometime if it is asked, what is the coefficient of y? Okay, so you have to leave y term, its coefficient is 2x. Leave the term. Everything else becomes its coefficient. And if they ask numerical coefficient, then the numerical coefficient is 2 for xy. Okay, coefficient is everything else, then whose coefficient you are finding. Okay, after this we'll come to constant polynomial. What is meant by constant polynomial? Constant polynomial is a polynomial whose value is fixed. It's not going to change. So that means if I just write 7, is it a polynomial? Yes, it is a polynomial because hiddenly it is x to the power 0 and it has a whole number power. So it is a polynomial, but it's a constant polynomial. Why? Because actually x to the power 0 is 1. So value is constant 7. It's not going to change its value. Whatever value of x you take, the value of the polynomial is always 7. So we call it as constant polynomial. 9, minus 1, minus 10, these all are constant polynomial. Now the question arises, what about 0? Is it a constant polynomial? Because 0 also can be written as 0 x to the power 0. Yeah, it is also a constant polynomial. It's a constant polynomial which is also known as 0 polynomial. It's a 0 polynomial. Let's take a polynomial, for example 2x square plus 4x plus 9. So over here there are three terms. This polynomial is actually a trinomial. You already know monomial, binomial, trinomial, polynomials. So this is a trinomial. So over here the power of x is 2. Over here the power of x is 1. Over here the power of x is 0. Okay, there are 3 power of x's over here because 9 is nothing but x raised to the power 0. The highest power of variable. Children, over here we are talking about polynomials with only one variable. Okay. So over here the variable is x. There is no y, there is no z, there is no t. So with one variable. Highest power of the polynomial is called its degree. So what's the degree? Over here the degree is 2. Highest power is called the degree. Take one more example. X to the power 20 plus 9. What's the highest power of the variable? Variable is x, highest power is 20. So the degree is 20 over here. But what if I give you a polynomial like this? X into x to the power 4 plus 5x plus 9. What's the degree of this polynomial? Then first you should multiply it and get the polynomial in the general form. Okay, so no multiplications in between, there should be only terms. So when you multiply, it becomes x to the power 5 plus 5x to the power 2 plus 9, and then comes the degree is 5. Don't simply judge the book by its cover. This is not a polynomial of degree 4, whereas this is a polynomial of degree 5. Next question comes that what about the constant polynomials? What's the degree of constant polynomial? Suppose take a constant polynomial minus 9. What is its degree? So this is hidden x to the power 0. So what's the power? Highest power, that's 0 only. So that means degree of constant polynomial is 0. Degree of a constant polynomial is 0. And over here when I say degree of a constant polynomial, please understand that we are taking non-zero polynomial. As I said, 0 is also a constant polynomial, correct? 0 is also a constant polynomial. So when I say that degree of a constant polynomial is 0, we are talking about all non-zero polynomials. Now come to a very special case. Then what about the 0 polynomial? So see here, 0 multiplied by x to the power 0. So this says the degree is 0. Considering this case, the degree is 0. But what if the number was like this? It was 0, okay, so multiplied by x to the power 20. Then also the answer comes 0 only, right? X to the power, even if I take 20 and multiply it with a constant 0, then also my answer comes 0. What if I take 0 into x to the power 10? Then also the answer comes 0 only. So actually I don't know how we have reached this 0. Okay, the degree could have been 0, or the degree was 20, or the degree was 10. We cannot say, we cannot decide. So we write that degree of 0, which is a constant polynomial, is not defined. You cannot define its degree. Why? Because you could have achieved 0 by taking any degree of x. So degree of 0 polynomial is not defined. Now let us talk about some special type of polynomials and their names. So if I take a polynomial whose degree is 1 with one variable, so that's known as a linear polynomial, degree 1, like 2x plus 9. It's a linear polynomial because the degree highest power of the variable is 1. If the degree of the variable is 2, of the polynomial degree is 2, then we call them as quadratic polynomial. For example, 4x square plus 2x plus 9. Here the degree of the polynomial is 2, so it will be called as quadratic polynomial of one variable. Variable is only 1. Coming to the cubic polynomial, 3x cube plus 9. It's a binomial and it's a cubic polynomial. So today we have learnt about the basics of polynomial. When will the algebraic expression called as a polynomial and which ones will not be considered as a polynomial. We talked about degree of a polynomial. We talked about linear polynomial, quadratic polynomial and cubic polynomial. We talked about a constant polynomial. We talked about 0 of a polynomial. Now next class we'll talk about the zeros of a polynomial. Thank you.